Today I'm going to be using some of the Gelli prints that I've made on 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper to make envelopes and cards that go inside. So here are some 12 by 12 prints that I've made. I just used old scrapbook paper that I had, and I'll admit some of these I really like and some of them I don't like as much. And that's how it works for me when I do jelly plating. Like this one isn't even finished yet. So this one actually was going back on the stack so that next time I'm jelly printing, I'll add more layers to it. And some of these I really like. I've also found that when I change the shape of it from a whole piece of paper into the envelope, it looks a lot different. So some that I don't really like at the moment, I may actually turn out to really like in the end. So to make this, what I'm going to do is use a paper trimmer just so I can get a straight line to make my envelope, the first cut on my envelope. So I'm going to use this wonderful pink print that I made. I'm doing this the size of a 4 by 6 index card because it will fit on a 12 by 12 piece of length of paper. And to figure out what size I needed, I kind of took the note that I wanted to put in there and kind of folded it out, flipped it, and that gives me enough for the flap. I am going to sew the edges. You can glue them, sew them, staple them, whatever makes you happy. I want to leave myself enough room to sew because I'm not a careful sewer, so I'm going to make it a little bit wider and just cut. Don't get rid of this. You're going to need this a little bit later. Now I've got my basic. The other side too, I have a little bit of a print there so that it doesn't look completely plain when you open it up. I'm going to put that in there. And this way. And that tells me about where to fold it. I've just actually got it in there. I know that it'll fit in there all the way, so I'm happy. And then I just fold the flap down. Increase it. You can use a bone folder if you want. I'm just using my hand. So this is the basics of the envelope. To make the hole that's right there, it's just a paper punch. And so I'm just going to put the punch in about the middle. Didn't measure, doesn't matter to me. Then to make the scallop on the edge here, that's also a paper punch. And I'm just going to put this in. You can use decorative scissors, you could tear it, you could leave it just the way it is as a straight edge. It is completely up to you for how you want to do yours. And I like the look of the sort of the angles on envelopes, so I am going to open this up and go right from the corner and cut kind of like that. I do kind of want it to be similar, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I like to be about the same. So I'm just going to take that triangular piece, and use it to trace the other side. That way it will match well enough for me. So there is my envelope shape. I'm going to go and stitch it. I'm just going to stitch up along here, and I'm going to stitch up there just for decoration, and stitch along there. You can glue, you can staple, you can do it any way you want to. I'll be right back. So now I have stitched this up. Pull this right up there so you can see. So I've got, and I had whatever thread I had in the machine. It happened to be yellow and white, so that's what it is. It doesn't bother me. And now I'm going to trim off some of the strings because I am going to mail this one through the US mail, so I don't want strings that might get caught in their machinery. I want to give my envelope a chance to get there in good shape. The other thing too is if you have an envelope that can go through their machinery, you don't pay as much postage, which is something that I like. For sizing of these, I will put on my website the dimensions that they will accept for a first-class letter so that you don't have to pay extra postage. I know this one does fit within the size requirements, but I'll have that on there so you can look at it. Next thing I want to do is work on the note that's going to go in there. Now I could just leave it as a plain white thing, but that's not my style. So what I'm going to do is punch some more circles using the same border. punch some of those, and then I'm just going to do this kind of a trim on it there. I'll move this so you guys can see the white card against that to see what I'm doing. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of glue stick, and I'm going to stick this thing on there. Actually, I'm going to trim that off a little bit like that. I trimmed it off because there was a white part that I didn't think would show up very well. So put my glue stick on there. And I'm going to have the scallops just hang off the edge a little bit, just for some variety, and have some scalloping there. Now I could stop there if I wanted to, but I want to do more. I want something up in this corner. So I am, for this one, I'm feeling like some little strips. So I just cut some little strips here. Nope, I'm just going to put one. I'm going to go with this one. And I'm just going to put the strip up there. And I am actually going to wrap it all the way around to the back. So that gives me a little bit of color on the back too, should I decide to write over there. And there's my note that will go into my envelope. You can write your address and all that stuff on the front. As far as sealing it up, I just use tape and tape it down because it's easy, it's fast, and it makes it good to go. Hope you enjoy making some Gelli print envelopes and putting some wonderful bright colors in people's mailboxes.